Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Target Focused Life. My name's Steve and today it's a shotgun showdown between two of the premier waterfowl 12 gauge 3.5 inch shotguns. It's the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3 versus the Browning Maxus 2. Let's go. So I have already done full reviews on both of these shotguns. If you would like to see the individual review of either of these shotguns, you can definitely check that out on the channel. But today's a shotgun showdown, and that's different than my normal shotgun reviews because at the end of this video, there can only be one winner. So let's get started. First, let's take a look at the selling points and MSRP of these shotguns. Both of these were made to be waterfowl shotguns. Super Black Eagle 3 is $19.99 MSRP, while the Browning Maxus 2 is $18.99 for the camo version, and it's closer to $2,000 for this Wicked Wing edition, which is a special edition. So they're about within $100 as far as MSRP. When it comes to the selling points, Browning touts the Maxus 2 as being one of the most reliable, fastest shooting, easiest handling, and just about anything else you can think of best in the market. Now, Benelli, the Super Black line has been around for a long time. They are known for just being an ultra reliable, low maintenance waterfowl slayer. One of the big differences between these two guns right off the bat is that the Super Black Eagle 3 is inertia operated, while the Maxus 2 is a gas operated gun. What does that mean? Is there a right? Is there a wrong? Well, not really. There's not a right or wrong. Some of the biggest differences are gas guns tend to have lighter recoil. They generally tend to be able to operate a wider range of loads from light to heavy, and they're a little dirtier. The inertia system is simpler, has less fouling that gets into the chamber, there's less moving parts, but they generally have a little bit more recoil. Now we're gonna be testing recoil on these guns here in a little bit to see if it's significant. We're also gonna be testing them for speed, because I believe gas guns generally are able to shoot a little bit faster. So we'll speed test both these guns, see which one I can shoot faster. Let's dive in and take a look at the specs of these shotguns. When it comes to weight, both these guns are 28 inch. The Super Black Eagle 3 is 7 pounds. The Browning Maxus 2 is just slightly heavier at 7.2 pounds. But weight isn't everything. The balance of the weight is also important. And I will say that I can tell the balance point is a little further forward on the Maxus 2, which makes sense because it has a gas system, it has a piston up here, spring, piston sleeve, a few extra components up here. But I believe it's very well balanced. When I pick up the Super Black Eagle 3, I can feel the balance point is a little further back, which actually feels really good in the hands. The only thing that concerns me about that is potential for muzzle flip. When the front end of the gun gets too light, how much muzzle flip do we experience? Looking at length of pull of these shotguns. Out of the box, the Super Black Eagle is 14 3/8. Length of pull is from the trigger to the buttstock of the shotgun, but Benelli also has optional add-on pads, recoil pads that you can add that would change the length of pull. On the shorter end, we're looking at 13 7/8, and on the longer end, we're looking at 14 3/4 inches. So there is some adjustability there. When we look at the Browning Maxus 2, out of the box, it's 14 7/16 inches. Now there is some adjustment here as well. This is a little bit unique with this Browning shotgun. As you can see, it's flat right here. This flat part, you can cut off to 3/4 of an inch. So you can shorten it that way, but it also is shimmable with spacers to make the length of pull a little bit longer, included with this gun. The drop at comb is 1 3/4 on the Browning Maxus 2, down to 2 inches, so it only has a 1/4 inch of drop, which I like a little flatter comb. That way, if your head's not hitting the same exact right spot, there's not a lot of difference where your head lines up. The Super Black Eagle 3 has 1 3/8 drop at comb and 2 1/8 inch drop at comb. So that's a 1/2 inch drop versus a 1/4 inch drop here, so a little bit more drop in the comb. The Super Black Eagle 3 comes with 3 flush mount chokes, 2 extended chokes, and it runs the cryo choke system. The Maxus 2 runs in Vector Plus choke system and comes with 3 extended chokes and a very shiny goose band choke, which looks really cool, but not a huge fan because if I'm goose hunting, I'm probably not gonna put a shiny choke like my Carlson's choke on here, this gold one. I'm not gonna go goose hunting with that. Real quickly here, I'm gonna take a look at the trigger pull of each of these shotguns. I've done this before in other videos, but real quick, 5 pounds, 0.06 ounces. Okay, we're only gonna do one. In most reviews, I do 3. But we're just gonna do this real quick. 5 pounds, 11 ounces on the Benelli. So both these guns are kind of in that same ballpark. If we do a number of different pulls, we find that there's a little variation in every pull, but just actually feeling the triggers, the Super Black Eagle 3 has a little bit of travel, a nice clean break. The Maxus 2, very, very similar. Nice crisp break, just a little bit of travel at the front. Ultimately, we're coming down to specs, and I gotta choose who has the edge between these two shotguns. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when it comes down to trigger, I gotta say the Browning Maxus has the edge. It has a more of a flat face trigger. This one's a little more rounded, so I feel like I got just a better feel on this trigger. When it comes to the drop, I like a little flatter comb. This one has a little more drop to it. Both are adjustable. Both have shims and spacers. So I think I gotta give a slight edge. It's not much, but a slight edge to the Browning Maxus 2. Now we're gonna take a look at the ergonomics of these shotguns. That's the look, the feel, the function. When I hold this Benelli in my hands, I really like the way it feels. The pistol grip is not too large, not too small, feels really good in the hands. They have a very unique forearm, and I like the grip of it. Just feels really good. There's some texture here that I think is decent. As far as the controls, oversized bolt handle, oversized bolt release, but not largely oversized. I wouldn't mind them a little bit bigger, easier to operate. Cross bolt safety on the rear, that's where I like it. Trigger guard is moderately big. I wouldn't mind a little bit bigger trigger guard. When it comes to the stock, the Comfort Tech cheek pad, I really like that a lot. And actually you can add more cheek pads to it. There's different size cheek pads, a couple different ones. So I like that. Super Black Eagle 3 has a small fiber optic sight and a mid bead, which is great for checking your mount, not for aiming at the birds, because we don't aim, right? We point shotguns. And then when I grab the Browning Maxus 2, this also feels really good in the hands. It's interesting to compare them side by side because I like both these shotguns quite a bit when I shot them individually, but then when you just go one to the other, pistol grip of this is maybe a little bit thicker. The forearm is definitely thicker, but these rubber overmoldings on the Maxus, I love the way that feels. Your hands aren't going anywhere. If you're waterfowl hunting, you're wet, or if you're hot and humid and it's your hands are sweating, you got a great grip on this gun. When you look at the controls of this gun, very nice oversized bolt handle, very nice oversized bolt release, cross bolt safety on the rear of the trigger guard, and look how big this trigger guard is. I like that a lot. You can easily get gloves in there. Both of these shotguns have beveled out loading ports. Browning did a nice job with this loading port. Benelli did a pretty decent job. There's a slight edge on the loading port of this shotgun. Also has a very nice cheek pad. I don't believe you can change out cheek pads on this one, but it's got a nice soft cheek pad. The Influx recoil pad is nice. Also has a fiber front bead and an ivory mid bead. Balance wise, we talked about this a little bit earlier. This one has a little bit more forward balance, but man, when I mount that gun, it's spot on. This gun has a little more rearward balance, which sometimes can lead to too quick of hands because that muzzle's light and you can kind of whip that gun around. This one mounts really nice too. When it comes to ergonomics, the look, the feel, the function, this is very hard. Again, I like them both a lot. I think I gotta give a slight edge to the Maxus 2. I like the grip, the forearm grip of this better. I like the pistol grip better, but these rubber over moldings and the controls, the beveled out loading port, and the larger trigger guard give this a slight edge over the Super Black Eagle 3. When we look at other variations of these shotguns, we're looking at Camo Patterns. Both have many different Camo Patterns. I'm not gonna go through them all. They both have black models and wood models. Something Benelli has that Browning does not have is left-handed models. Now, you might think there's not a ton of left-handed people out there. Majority are right-handed. That may be true, but there's more left eye dominant shooters out there than what people realize. And I always tell people, if you're left eye dominant, it's gonna be way easier just to shoot left-handed. Why? Because when we shoot a shotgun, we shoot with two eyes open. It's hard to judge the speed of a moving object, what distance out it is, travel, depth perception, all those things change when we close one eye. Our eyes take in visual data and it goes into the brain and it's calculated with both eyes open. You close one, you lose a lot, half of your data, right? So if you're gonna shoot with both eyes open, instead of fighting your dominant eye, it's easier just to switch sides. There's other tricks to that. We won't talk about that in this video that you can use to overcome that. But because Benelli offers left-handed versions, I'm gonna give Benelli the edge in other variations. Benelli also makes a 3-inch model and a 20 gauge model in the Super Black Eagle 3. Browning also has a 3-inch model in the Maxus 2. This is not something I normally show in the head-to-head comparison, but because Benelli makes a left-handed model, kudos to them for doing that. I know a lot of people love left-handed models. Benelli has the edge. Quick look at the quality of build. Honestly, I'm not gonna spend much time on this. One cool thing that Browning did is they made the bolt nickel Teflon coated, and on this Wicked Wing edition, it's also Cerakoted, which is the reason this Wicked Wing edition is at a little higher price point. But if you're just gonna compare camo version versus camo version, and we're looking at quality of build, you're gonna take out the Cerakote and things like that. They're neck and neck, honestly. I mean, you pick up either of these guns, you can tell that they're built well. It's part of the reason they're at a higher price point. Quality of build, it's a tie. Now we're gonna take a quick look at recoil and reliability. Browning claims the Maxus 2 is the lightest, fastest shooting, most reliable, all things operation shotgun on the market. We're gonna run some rounds through them from target loads to 3.5 inch and see if there's any difference in recoil and reliability. So first off, I'm gonna throw in some target loads. I have the Federal Top Gun ounce and an 1/8 8-shot. Just a couple quick shots from the shoulder. Okay, no problem running the target loads. Let's pick the pace up a little bit on this one. See if we can shoot a little bit faster. When I went fast, I had a little bit more issue, a little hang up there. See if we have any issues. Ran those just fine. But my guess is, if I shoot this gun over the head, did not cycle, did not pull up the shell right. Upside down has issues cycling. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me. Lighter target load, 3.5 inch gun, but if you're gonna claim that you have the most reliable autoloader, you gotta be able to shoot it over the head. And I'm guessing if you went to the 3-inch model, it would work significantly better. Let's try the Super Black Eagle 3. Target loads. No issues there. My speculation is, if I hold this gun upside down over the head, same issue. Okay, so really not a lot of difference there. Let me shoot one more shot head to head. Recoil, just looking at recoil. Felt pretty comfortable, took it into the shoulder, not into the face. Recoil felt well. Oh, I gotta do one more of each. Whew. That is hard. When it comes down to recoil of these target loads, so close. But honestly, I felt like there was a little less muzzle jump with the Super Black Eagle 3, which is surprising to me. Inertia gun, I figured this would have lighter recoil. They're very, very close, not much difference. But now let's try in 3-inch shells. 3-inch Black Cloud. Okay, that felt pretty good. Took it back to the shoulder, didn't get any recoil into the face. I love these combs that they have on here. Go to the Super Black Eagle 3. Interesting, one more side by side. This test is getting expensive, man. When I shot these 3-inch shells, 1.25 ounces, I felt like the Browning had a slight edge on a little bit heavier load as far as how the recoil came back. Let's take it a step further. Let's pull out some 3.5 inchers, see if we get the same result. Ooh. Ooh. This is fascinating, guys. I said when it was the target loads, Super Black Eagle 3 had a slight edge. When it came to the 3-inch black clouds, I thought the Maxus had a slight edge. And then when we came to the 3.5-inch, looking at recoil, the Browning Maxus 2 is definitely more comfortable to shoot. So when it comes to recoil, the Browning Maxus 2 has the edge. When it comes to reliability, I think they're basically gonna operate mostly the same. Now, one thing to consider, this is a gas operated gun. It's gonna get a little dirtier, a little quicker. And so if you're out in the field getting dirt and junk in there, there might be a slight edge as far as reliability here on the Super Black Eagle 3. So now we're gonna jump into breakdown of this shotgun. And you're gonna see there's a significant difference. I'm gonna do this on the clock so we can see what the difference is. Ready, set, Browning Maxus 2, go. 4-end cap. Lots of turns, off. 4-end off, barrel off, piston off, that out. Oh, I need to pop the pins. I'm gonna cheat and use this. This isn't necessarily the kosher way of doing it. Now we can take the trigger guard off, set to clean. 29.18 on that one. There you have it. Here's a close look here of all the working components to the Maxus 2. Take it apart, clean it. As you can see, this piston has a lot of carbon buildup. Gets very dirty from the gas. Benelli Super Black Eagle, go. Okay, so far they're neck and neck, 4-end cap. Requires a lot of spins. Oh, close the bolt, forgot that part. Look at that. Hey, done. That's it. I don't need to take the trigger guard off on this one because I can clean it right from here because the barrel is actually the top of the receiver, makes it super quick. That, by the way, that was 13.8 seconds. 13.8 seconds, and we're good to go. Going back together is just about as simple. We gotta make sure this tail goes into that plunger. That's good to go. We can take this as one piece, slide it on, up and over. We are back in business, folks. That is probably one of the coolest things about the Super Black Eagle 3 and inertia guns is how simple was that? We're hot to trot, ready to go. So now to put the Maxus 2 back together, starting with the bolt can be easier without the trigger guard on there. That way we can see that the tail goes into the right place. There we go. Now we can put the trigger guard on, trigger group, everything. Find our 2 pins. This can be the most challenging part of putting it back together. Then we got the spring. Then we got the piston sleeve. Then we got the piston. Then we got the barrel. Barrel's on. Forearm on. 4-end cap on. So not terribly difficult when you're not doing it side by side, but when you compare these two guns, night and day difference, breakdown, ease of cleaning, maintenance, goes to the Super Black Eagle 3, hands down. All right, guys, I really think it's gonna come down to this. How fast can I shoot 3 clays and shoot each one with an individual shot on the clock? I think whatever gun wins this will win the shotgun showdown, because right now, both great guns, but they're neck and neck. This will separate them. So I'm gonna take my fastest time. I'm gonna do it a bunch of times, but I'm only gonna show you my fastest time and see which one's the winner. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with the Maxus 2. I got down to a 1, 2, 3. I have put a lot of rounds for this gun, and in the speed test in another head-to-head shotgun showdown versus the A400 Extreme Plus, I was able to shoot a 117. But I only did it once. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3 is one of my faster times. I shot a whole lot of rounds. Had some issues. Pick up the Super Black Eagle 3. Whew. I know that wasn't fast. That was a 140. Ladies and gentlemen, I have shot this gun faster, but I spent quite a few rounds. And what I was experiencing with the Super Black Eagle 3 is as I try to run it as fast as I can go, I can actually outshoot the gun. I'm ready to pull the trigger before the gun is fully cycled, making it really challenging for me to find a pace to shoot fast, but not overshoot it. So I was able to get more speed out of this one. That's not surprising. I was consistently able to see more speed out of the Maxus 2 than the Super Black Eagle 3. When I boil it down, when I look at these guns head to head, both great guns, I would be happy to take either one out to the blind and duck hunt with it, goose hunt with it. But when it comes down to choosing a winner, I didn't know going into this who I would pick, which gun I would pick, but there is a slight edge. It is the Browning Maxus 2 that comes ahead in the Shotgun Showdown. Whew, there I said it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see any other head-to-head competitions between shotguns, you let me know in the comments down below. Remember, whether you're in the field or in life, it's only the targets that you're laser focused on that you're gonna hit. So live target focused. See ya.